little yarnivores and spiderettes and yarn lovers out there. Fiber Spider back again with another little vlog unboxing review just for you. And today I'm going to show you something that I decided to pick up. I've had my eye on it for a while and I couldn't resist any longer. It is called the Zoom Loom. Now it's not knitting, it's not crocheting, but it does involve yarn, so I had to have it. You know how it is. And so this little guy is a revamping of the traditional pin looms that were around, I believe it was the 30s through the 70s, thereabouts, and it's been revamped and it's more ergonomic, more user-friendly. I've never used the original ones. I believe it was called the Weavette loom. You might have one in your attic, you never know. And so I decided to give this a try. And it is by a company called Shacked. And it's got all the little info bits on the back here. And basically it says it's a 4 inches by 4 inches. They're not huge squares, but they're quick. The Zoom Loom is a pin loom with a difference. We've taken a simple design and transformed it into an extremely efficient and comfortable little loom. If you've ever woven on a pin loom, you'll love our new and improved model. A sloping interior edge effortlessly guides your weaving needle. Graceful extended sides are very comfortable to hold. Molded in instructions on the front and back are always there when you need them. A handy slot holds the beginning yarn without knotting, which is a big bonus. Small and compact, the Zoom Loom is easy to take along to weave anytime, anywhere. And included is the 4 by 4 inch Zoom Loom, a 6-inch weaving needle, a tapestry needle, which is 3 inches, and it also comes, of course, with instruction booklets, and it also came with a few little replacement pins, which I thought was a nice little bonus just in case. So I'm gonna open this sucker up and show you exactly what you get. I like the little case, and basically it says, wind, 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 warp and weave. Now, I don't know about you, but this particular yarn that they're using, I would never use on this loom, okay? I've used it, I've experimented with it, and that's why I didn't do this video as soon as I would have liked to, because I wanted to try it out first, so I can give you an honest testimonial as to what I think about it. I did purchase this myself with my own money, no discounts, no perks, nothing. I got this myself. So this is my honest testimonial to you because I value getting information. So this is the loom itself. And here, right down here, is where it holds the yarn. And you have all these pegs. And it's very much like the pot holder looms, except it's a much smaller gauge, okay? And also the pins, instead of being all going completely uniformly across, you can see that they are spaced. And that helps when you're joining them. And I'll show you that in a bit. And so also, if you can see, I don't know, can you see right there, you have little arrows going on and little numbers. There's a little number 1, and where's the number 2? Wait, that is the number 2, isn't it? Yeah, right down here. Sorry, it's hard to see, but I am trying here. Can you see that? There's the number 2. And the arrows actually show you, I'm sorry for my bad camera work, I apologize. I do the best I can. But the numbers also have little arrows, and it shows you how you're going to warp the yarn. And I'm thinking, you know, if you guys are interested, I will do a video on how to actually use this guy, and it's pretty cool. I will say that. There are pros and cons, and I will go into that as well. And they say that you can weave a square in 15 minutes. that I would say that depends. I would definitely say that depends. 15 minutes, I've heard even say 4 minutes, a little bit longer because this is a very fine gauge that you're working with. You know, you want to get your yarn lined up just right and everything. And then, of course, there's the weaving process. Now, also, inside, I'm going to show you, you have your little instruction booklet. And this is very thorough as far as the diagrams are concerned. It's very easy, and I started weaving squares in no time. And then it also has a bit on how to join them together, which I can also show you if you like. And also yarn weights. And that is a biggie. That is for me, that could be very well a deal breaker as far as the how you want to use this product. And I'll go into that as well. Now, they also give you a couple of projects that you can make with the loom. I'm not going to go too much into that. Basically, a scarf, a placemat, that sort of thing. But the instructions are very thorough. I will give them credit for that, definitely. And then, like I said, in a nice little baggie, Ziploc, thank God, you get yourself this really nice long needle for weaving. This is the perfect length, and they, of course, also give you a tapestry needle and 2 little pegs, which I think was an extra nice little bonus that they did. You cannot weave with just a tapestry needle with this device. You just can't, really, logistically. So you really need a long needle, which I found to be invaluable. Now, that being all said, there are pros and cons, and I'm gonna go into that because as much as I like this product, there are things to consider and to weigh out. Okay, so we're going to get into that now. All right, so like I was saying, there are pros and cons to this particular little toy, gadget, gizmo, tool, however you want to put it. The yarn weight has to be, I would say, 3 or less. There are pros and cons to that. Me, I love worsted weight yarn, which is a weight of 4. And it's the predominant yarn weight that I have in my stash. And I was hoping, I can really crank out squares and go crazy. If you try to use a weight of 4 on this, it's very tight. I have heard that you can. I tried it myself using Vanna's Choice, which runs on the thinner side of a worsted weight yarn. It really was a no-go. I really couldn't even finish weaving a square. I could do the warping, no problem, but the actual weaving, it was too tight, to be perfectly honest. I even tried using a very loose tension, which is not my usual MO. Usually I do tend to do things very, very tightly, whether it's knitting, crocheting, or in this case, weaving. Even trying to make the tension looser, it still wasn't working very well. So I experimented with some different yarns. I experimented with Pound of Love. And as you can see, this is a really cute and adorable little square. And the spacing on those pins creates these little bumps. And that enables you to sew these pieces together quite easily and, pretty quickly too. You can also, I've seen you can crochet an edge, a border around them, and then you can crochet them together. There are options. Not everybody likes to sew, but I have sewn some together, and I'm going to show you them now. I didn't weave in my ends. I'm sorry. It's a little messy. But this was done on Lion Brand's ice cream yarn, which is, I believe, a weight of 3. And this, it wove up just fine. Now, this is gorgeous. And ironically, this is all the same colorway. You don't need a lot of yarn, so you don't see the full color spectrum go through each square. But absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I really like this. However, it's very thin because it's weaving. It's not thickness of crocheting. So it is rather thin. And on this side, I have where I sewed my little squares together. I know my sewing isn't brilliant, but it works. So this would make a very lightweight scarf. I haven't decided whether I want to make this into a scarf or into a blanket, so that's why it's only 2 squares wide. You know, if you're wearing it like this, it's only 2 squares wide because I'm not sure whether I want to, you know, like a baby blanket or a scarf just yet. But I wanted to experiment enough so that I could show you a legitimate example of what this can make. I think it's gorgeous. However, if you're looking for something very warm and very substantial, you might want to try something else. Again, pros and cons. The age range on the box says ages 10 through 100. 10-year-olds may or may not have the attention span or the eye-hand coordination or the dexterity or the patience to do something like this because you really need fine motor skills. And yes, you can make a square in a relatively short amount of time. However, you need a lot of squares to make a substantial project, whether it be a scarf or a blanket or what have you. You need a lot of them. So that being said, it may not be appropriate for small children also because these spikes, I wouldn't say they have a sharp point to them, but they are metal, okay? And the last thing I would ever want to see is for a small child to hurt themselves on something. Also, this needle, this weaving needle, not the tapestry needle so much, but this needle, this is sharp, you know, not sharp enough to break the skin, but this is sharp, okay? So if it's a small child, please be careful. Please be mindful. I would not recommend that for, you know, a small child. 10 years old, I believe they're self-aware enough to know how to be careful, but it may require some supervision. Personal disclaimer, that's you know, safety first and foremost. Now, you could do solid colors like this that I did with the Pound of Love yarn, or you can get a little creative and you can try using 2 yarns woven simultaneously. Isn't this awesome? So I used the gray and the white together and I created this. I didn't have like a specific pattern, I was just fiddling around. So check this out. On the one side and then just turning it over. Ooh! On the other. So you got stripes going either which way. I've seen patterns on how to do houndstooth and zigzags and all sorts of craziness with the weaving, which apparently you can do with this loom, which I think is pretty neat. Also, I did some examples also in the ice cream yarn using, I think it's cookies and cream. The first example that was all pieced together, that was Moon Mist. Now these were all done with the cookies and cream. My lighting is atrocious. I am sorry. But these were all done using the cookies and cream. And again, the colorway is pretty long. So you have these very different looking squares. You could do solids. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying you can create some really neat effects using these different yarns. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. And I like it. It's a lot of fun. You know, very easy. As far as portability, I would not put this in my purse. If I had a purse, I wouldn't put this in my purse because of these little tines. They might break. I don't know how durable they are. I don't want to do an endurance test to see how fragile this is. I like to take care of my things. I would not throw this in a bag. I would like to keep it in the box when not in use. Also, you could hold it up and do the weaving. Personally, I find it easier to have it on my lap when I'm working. Again, so portability, yes and no. I mean, yes, you can bring this wherever you're going, no problem, but you want to be careful with it, I would say, while it's actually in transport. I know I'm covering a lot of gobbledygook here, but this is I'm thinking contingencies, and I'm thinking it's like, well, what's the practicality of the pros and the cons and so forth? Overall, I like it. I'm not disappointed with the purchase. I really do like it. I accept its limitations and I embrace its good points. Yin and yang. I can go both ways on that. And so I did some more research and I did find a seller on Etsy that sells something very similar to this that's handmade, and those go for a larger gauge yarn. So I couldn't resist. Yes, I ordered one already and it's on its way, and I'll probably do an unboxing on that once it comes in, and I'll give my little review on that. Probably not quite as long-winded, but I want it to be really thorough and give this a fair shot because I think it deserves it. I think it's good. I do like it. It is a little bit pricey. I got mine for around, I think it was like $33 or so on Amazon. I'm not disappointed, and I do think it's going to get a lot of use. You can use the squares in a number of different ways, just like granny squares, and I love granny squares. I do. But we'll see what happens. So like I said, if you guys are interested in me doing a tutorial on how to actually use this, please let me know, and I'll see what I can do about that. And I hope you guys like this. It's fun trying new things and new toys and gadgets and gizmos and things, so I really wanted to share that with you. So listen, my dears, if you liked the video, please hit the little thumbs up button because your support means ever so much to me. If you haven't hit subscribe, please do so as well because I try to post as often as I can. And until next time, I want you all to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.